In the current video, Sched4u number 3, we show a complete process with an emphasis on running the Sched4u program and creating a schedule, including creating and checking reports. The client interface is installed on the office computer, whereas the server is installed on the company's intranet, at the local network, or on a server in the cloud. The schedule is created on the server. There is a general help system and a context-sensitive help system in this screen, as well as in the other screens of Sched4u. We will demonstrate A. General help, B. Context-sensitive help. At this stage, we will switch to the configuration shown in this screen. At the center of the current screen are 21 fields that describe morning, evening, and night shifts, and employee constraints. The list box on the left side of the screen includes the employees participating in the schedule. In the example before us, the list includes 821 shift workers in 6 positions. The names of the workers and positions are symbolically marked in Latin letters. The largest group of employees consists of 482 employees, whose job is marked as Job 1. Browsing the list of employees allows you to track the constraints defined. You can, of course, add or remove constraints. The mechanism for defining the constraints is as follows. For example, an employee is chosen, A for A14, a shift is chosen, for example, the Wednesday evening shift. A first click gives a constraint of type yes, which means that the worker wants to get a priority to work in the shift. A second click gives a constraint of type no, which means that the worker cannot work at the shift. A third click will return us to the neutral starting position, which means that the employee has no preferences in the above shift. A fourth constraint is called fixed. The meaning of a fixed constraint is that the worker must work at this shift. Every employee has a password that is generated automatically by the software. A double click on the list of employees displays the above passwords. Using a password allows employees to sign in from the mobile phone to the employees portal located on a remote server in the cloud and to type in the employee's request. This mechanism makes it very easy and drastically reduces the load on the system administrator and makes it easier for the employees. The system administrator can also see all employee requests via mobile phone or via a desktop computer. It should be emphasized that Sched4u automatically checks the worker's request and decides whether or not to approve the request. The above-mentioned mechanism is powerful and is a very important tool that significantly reduces the workload over the system administrator. In the next stage, before moving on to the main theme for which the current video was built, which is demonstrating the process of creating a schedule, we will briefly describe the screen where employees that are participating in the schedule are added or removed from the list of employees. The open screen is called Employee Settings. This screen allows adding and removing employees participating in the schedule. The number of employees on the list appears on the right side of the screen. In this case, 821 employees. The list of roles is presented at the combo box for roles. We hereby completed a brief description of the process of building the configuration that we will use later on to build the schedule. We reiterate that the full description of the configuration process appears in videos number 1 and 2 of the software, as well as on the help screen and context-sensitive help of the software. In the next stage, we move to the schedule screen where schedules are created. To do so, click the Schedules button. The screen we came to is called Schedules. In the center of the screen, you can see 21 fields that will contain the names of the employees who will be grouped into 21 shifts. The first row has 7 fields that correspond to 7 morning shifts. In the second row are 7 fields that correspond to 7 evening shifts, while in the third row, 7 fields correspond to 7 night shifts. On the right side of the screen, you can see a list box which contains the list of schedules created by the software. A description of other elements of the screen will be given later. Before we go on, I would like to point out that the number of employees in the various positions that can be assigned to the various shifts can be seen. This is done by moving the cursor over a selected shift. For example, for the morning shift, evening and night shift on Monday, a total of 184, 140, and 130 employees are required respectively. It is possible to test in a similar way the rest of the shifts. If you also want to check the number of employees for each role, you should choose the role type as follows. Select a role and follow. For example, on Monday, the number of workers required for the role called Job 1 is 106, 84, and 80 respectively. Similarly, you can check the rest of the shift. At this point, we have come to the central and most important action in this video, creating a schedule using Sched4u. To do this, click the New Schedule button. We see that the time for creating a schedule for 821 employees, including constraints, is approximately 10 seconds. Let's check the success of the schedule. We see that the schedule was successfully completed. If you want to get a more extensive breakdown of the quantities of workers who have been placed in actual shifts, including the names of employees and positions, we will use a tool called Viewer. In order to operate the viewer, double tap a selected shift as follows. As an example, let us check the success of employees' assignments for the Tuesday morning shift. On the screen that we reached, on the left side of the screen, you can see the list of all the employees who were placed at the selected shift. In the two text boxes at the top right, you can see the number of employees for all the roles, the required number of employees, and the number of employees actually assigned. 184 employees, a full success. A similar action can be taken for other roles. We will demonstrate. To reload the list of all employees, click the Load All button. Exit the screen. Saving the schedule is done by clicking the Save button. In the list box on the right side of the screen, a new serial number for the new schedule is added, in this case, number 10. If you want this schedule number 10 to be used at the beginning of next week, check the list box on the right side of the screen and click the Commit Schedule button. The serial number of the saved schedule will appear in the Committed Schedule screen. Used for the current month. The screen we came up with shows previous schedules used in the current month as well as the new schedule number. Exit the screen. Another tool for inspecting the schedule is obtained by clicking the Schedule Details button. The screen we have reached enables the presentation of a schedule for the morning shift, evening shift, and night shift, as well as for on-alert workers, a topic that we will discuss later. The data is shown in this case for Monday, you can perform additional tests by selecting different days in the list at the top left side of the screen. You can perform similar tests for historical schedules. The Sched4u software allows you to define on-alert employees. To do this, click the Add Standby Employees button. On the screen that opens at the left side of the screen, you see the list of all employees who participate in the schedule. For each employee, you can see the shifts to which it was assigned and the role of the employee. To add an employee on standby, select the employee in the employee list and click on the shift and press the Add Employee button. To remove an employee, mark it in the Shifts matrix and click the Remove Employee button. Exit this screen. We are back at the Schedule Details screen. Before we close this screen, I would like to remark that the Standby button is only active for new schedules that are schedules for the next week. For example, if a historical schedule is selected, the Standby button is not active. Close the Schedule Details screen. The next step is to show the creation of reports for the new schedule. Click the Screen Report button. On the screen to which we arrived, the title shows the serial number of the report and the date range for the week in which the report will be used. The table shown on the screen contains a preliminary report of the schedule. The final report will be presented below. The fields in the table in the present screen show the employees' information and the shifts to which they were assigned. The last two fields in the table the week hours and month hours show the number of hours for the week and the cumulative number of hours from the beginning of the month for each employee. In the next step, we will show how to create a report in Excel format. To do this, click the Create Report button. The number of pages in the report is 19. In the report menu, you can perform several operations that are explained in the toolkit. For example, printing and exporting. The schedule may be exported to Excel, PDF, or Word format. We recommend exporting to Excel format. Close the screen. In this, we have completed introducing the production of a weekly schedule using the automatic Sched4u software. I would like to point out that the Sched4u program has been successfully tested for up to 2,400 employees. A typical time to create a schedule for 2,400 employees is about 1 minute. The software is currently available in English and Hebrew versions. For more information, please visit A. English site www.sched4u.com, B. Hebrew site www.sched4u.net. Before concluding, I would like to present information about interest in the Sched4u software in the world. The information is based on visits at our two leading Sched4u websites that were mentioned earlier from many countries worldwide in September 2017. Result: the total number of entries to the Sched4u sites is 3,146, out of which 2,004 entries having different IP addresses, out of which 500 IP addresses having 2 visits or more during the month. The entries came from 41 heavy industrial countries led by China and Germany. This is the end of the Sched4u video number 3 presentation. For further information or to re-watch the current video, you can access the Sched4u websites mentioned earlier. Many thanks and good luck. ControlNet Ltd.